Poor thing, who do you even pray to? Nobody. Even when you're fucking, what do you say when you call 'em atheist? Oh. Nothing. That's right, because that's what you believe in. You can't eat.
That's a new change. It's a new era. They say you don't miss what you got until it's gone. And Barack Obama is gone, children. Oh, I miss that nigga.
Picture this. A man in a custom $4.6 million Calabasas mansion, sitting behind the wheel of a $359,000 Rolls Royce Dawn, fresh off a performance that just earned him another $1 million payday. The cameras flash, the crowds roar. But behind those razor-sharp punchlines lies a story that few have ever truly understood. Meet Katt Williams, the comedian who turned childhood trauma into comedic gold, homelessness into HBO specials, and controversy into currency. Today, you'll discover how a 13-year-old runaway became a $5 million empire, why his Calabasas estate features bulletproof glass, and the shocking business deal that nearly cost him everything. But first, we need to rewind to where it all began, because the boy who would become comedy royalty started with nothing but hunger and an unbreakable will to survive. Early life and background. September 2nd, 1971. Cincinnati, Ohio. Micah Williams enters a world that would test him before he could even spell his own name. Raised by Jehovah's Witness parents in Dayton, young Katt was already reading at 3 years old, communicating in French and Creole, living in Haiti for religious missions. Then came the decision that would define everything. At just 13 years old, Micah emancipated himself from his parents and moved to Florida. Homeless, living in a park, supporting himself as a street vendor while most kids his age worried about homework. But here's where the story takes its first turn. Those park benches became his first stage. The hunger in his belly fueled the hunger in his soul. Every insult from passers-by became material. Every rejection became resolve. The streets didn't break him. They forged him into something unbreakable. That street vendor selling whatever he could find would soon be selling out arenas across America. Rise to fame and peak career. By 1999, the park kid had transformed into Katt and the Hat Williams, tearing up comedy clubs from Cincinnati to Hollywood. The Improv, the Comedy Club, the Ice House. Every stage became his classroom, every crowd his teacher. But it was BET's ComicView that first showed America what Cincinnati already knew. This wasn't just another comedian. This was lightning in a bottle. 2006 changed everything. The Pimp Chronicles, Part 1. 1 inch hit HBO like a cultural earthquake. That signature walk, that unforgettable voice, that fearless commentary. Suddenly, everyone knew the name Katt Williams. The boy who once slept in parks was now commanding stages that seated thousands. But 2008 sealed his legacy. It's Pimpin' wasn't just a comedy special. It was a cultural phenomenon. Billboard named his tour the best of 2008. Hollywood came calling with roles in Norbit, Friday After Next, and First Sunday. Money Mike wasn't just a character, he was a movement. Yet success at this level requires more than talent. It demands sanctuaries, signature properties, and private estates. Drive through the gates of Calabasas, and you'll find Katt Williams' $4.6 million fortress. Built in 2005 across 10 sprawling acres, this 8,800 square foot sanctuary isn't just a home, it's a statement. Step inside, and you're greeted by 6 bedrooms that blend luxury with something deeper: refuge. The main suite overlooks private acreage where morning light filters through bulletproof windows. Yes, bulletproof. Because when you speak truth to power for a living, security isn't luxury, it's necessity. The details tell the story. The full-sized basketball court where he shoots alone at midnight working through material. The recording studio where jokes become gold records. The garage that houses a collection worth more than most people's entire net worth. The house breathes with California silence. Palm trees swaying, infinity pools reflecting endless sky. This isn't just where Katt Williams lives, it's where he creates and rebuilds himself after every controversy. Cars and luxury assets. Open the garage doors at that Calabasas mansion, and you'll understand why Katt Williams' car collection is valued at $1.2 million. The crown jewel. A Rolls Royce Dawn worth $359,250, finished in midnight black, that mirrors his comedy, elegant on the surface, powerful underneath. That 6.6-liter V12 engine producing 563 horsepower doesn't just move the car, it moves souls. Then there's the Apocalypse 6x6 Hellfire truck, $200,000 of custom-built insanity. 6 wheels, Kevlar coating, marine-grade leather interior. This isn't transportation, it's preparation for whatever life throws next. But perhaps most telling is what he does with these machines. He gives them away. The Lamborghini Huracan he gifted to Beanie Siegel. The Cadillac Escalades he bought for Lil Mo and her family. These aren't just cars. They're acts of generosity that reveal a man who remembers what it's like to have nothing. Wealth, deals, and net worth. Let's talk numbers, because in entertainment, numbers tell the truth. As of 2025,
You say, and I don't say this often to other men on the show, great hair.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Doesn't come up a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, really.
Thank you. It means a lot coming from you. You are the king of hair. You are the only remaining pompadour in the business. So
Katt Williams commands an estimated net worth of $5 million. But that figure tells only half the story. Here's the mechanism. Base pay from HBO specials that can reach 7 figures per show. Back-end points from films like Friday After Next that still generate royalties. Touring revenue that consistently fills 15,000-seat arenas at $75 to $150 per ticket. One weekend can generate $2 to $3 million in gross revenue. But the real revelation came in 2019 when Williams disclosed something shocking. He'd lost $59 million to embezzlement by former employees. $59 million. Most entertainers would never recover. Instead, Katt Williams did what he's always done. He turned pain into punchlines. His Netflix specials, Great America, World War III, and Woke Foke, weren't just comebacks. They were resurrection stories told with a microphone, philanthropy, and causes. Behind the headlines lies something the tabloids rarely mention. Katt Williams remembers where he came from, and he's determined to lift others up from those same places. His philanthropic work focuses on housing assistance programs, fitting for a man who once lived in a park, scholarships for underprivileged youth. When Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans, Williams quietly funded relief efforts. When community centers in Dayton needed resources, checks arrived with no press conferences. Comedy is about honesty, Williams once said. The struggles, the triumphs, they all feed into the story you tell on stage. His philanthropy operates on the same principle. Personal life and relationships. 10 children, 3 biological, 7 adopted. This single fact reveals more about Katt Williams than any punchline ever could. The man who emancipated himself at 13 became the father who never gives up on a child. Those 7 adopted children weren't charity cases. They were family, chosen and cherished by someone who understands what it means to be unwanted. His Christian faith runs deeper than the crosses he wears during performances. "I wanted to remain God's friend," he once said, and that friendship has sustained him through controversies that would break lesser souls. This is the man who survived 17 arrests between 2006 and 2018, each one becoming tabloid gold. Yet, through every controversy, he kept showing up, to stages, to family dinners, to the mirror where he faced himself honestly. Recent career and public image. January 2024 changed everything. When Katt Williams sat down with Shannon Sharpe for Club Shay Shay, he didn't just give an interview, he delivered a masterclass in truth-telling that broke the internet. His comments about Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and Ricky Smiley weren't just comedian beef. They were calculated strikes from someone who'd been watching and documenting for decades. The social media response was volcanic, views in the tens of millions. May 4th, 2024. Woke Foke streams live from Los Angeles as part of Netflix is a Joke Festival. His 13th stand-up special, his third for Netflix. Streaming platforms keep coming back because Katt Williams keeps delivering. The public perception has shifted from controversial comedian to comedy truth-teller. The arrests that once defined him have been reframed as evidence of someone who refuses to compromise his principles. Legacy and conclusion. In the end, what endures about Katt Williams isn't just the laughter, it's the courage. The courage of a 13-year-old boy who chose uncertainty over security. The courage of a comedian who spoke truth when silence would have been safer. The courage of a man who rebuilt his empire after betrayal nearly destroyed it. Drive past that $4.6 million Calabasas mansion today, and you'll see something that started in a Florida park. Proof that authenticity, no matter how controversial, eventually wins. The bulletproof windows that once symbolized paranoia now represent prescience. Katt Williams always knew the world would try to break him, so he built himself unbreakable. His influence extends far beyond comedy clubs and Netflix specials. A generation of comedians learned that honesty sells better than harmony. A generation of audiences learned to expect more than safe jokes. The park benches are gone. The street vendor days are distant memories. But the boy who sold trinkets to survive became the man who sells truth for a living. And in an industry built on illusion, that truth has made him wealthy, controversial, and ultimately irreplaceable. Some fortunes are measured in dollars. Katt Williams' fortune is measured in fearlessness. And in 2025, that's the rarest currency of all. If Katt Williams' journey from park benches to comedy royalty inspired you, hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of entertainers who refuse to play it safe, and drop a comment below. Which part of Katt's story surprised you most? The truth behind the laughter is always more complex than the headlines suggest. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply refuse to give up.